got to be 8 seconds, right?
Correct.
Are we doing 8?
Oh, I was doing the countdown for people.
That was 8.
I did 10.
Oh, we did 15.
We're
I gave him
supposed
2
to do
more.
8.
15 is not.
What?
24, man.
Now we have to start making up stuff.
Ah,
like,
God
well,
damn it.
What are you
No.
talking about? Why does it have to be 8?
That's
that
his
was
number.
His number.
One of his numbers.
He had a lot of numbers.
8.
Another one was 24.
We have to be like, he once scored 15 points against
Yeah.
the Nuggets, and I think it meant a lot to him in his rookie season.
No,
Dude, we did 10. That was
it's
8
the thought.
seconds.
It's the
thought
thought
of
that counts.
8.
No, it's the thought.
That was 8 seconds. I
It was
counted on my
fine.
hand.
Yeah, it was
I thought
the
you
thought
just said
that
you did
counts.
10.
Welcome to the Rad Dudecast.
might have,
That
I
was
don't
8 seconds of silence for, of course, Kobe Bryant and 8 others, including 2 children, passed away yesterday. And Serious Donkey, I wanted to bring this up on the podcast because it's been weird. Like, I never was a Kobe Bryant fan. Like, I
Yes.
respected him
Sure.
as an ultimate competitor
Right.
and just a devastating scorer. Like, I always respected him, but I was never like a big Kobe Bryant guy. In fact, I generally rooted against him when he was, because
Yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you wish his death.
well, no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
You think
that.
it's going down this lane?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're saying I wasn't a fan of him,
No,
so
no,
I
no.
didn't think I'd feel upset when he
No.
died horrendously.
No, I knew
We're
like
gonna
if
take
you
a sentimental turn.
No. What I'm saying is, if had you told me,
Yeah.
okay, Kobe Bryant's gonna die tomorrow, how are you gonna feel? I would have said sad.
Yeah.
You know, like bummed, but like not devastated. But I was shook, man. I was
Yeah.
fucking shook up yesterday.
Yeah.
Dude, I cried during movies of people who aren't real.
Yeah.
And they die, and I go, well, the Notebook affects me this way. I as well had a problem with Kobe Bryant dying, and I don't even care about sports.
Yeah,
But he's a real guy.
And it was weird, and I don't know what it is. Anthony brought up a good point. Like, I think part of it is like he was just there as a person, just in the peripheral of my life for most of my life. You know, I mean, because he came into the league at what, 19, and he was
18 even.
18, he came to
18,
high school.
and he was known as the top high school guy for like 2 years before that.
Right.
So that's that, and he died at 41. So that's 24 years where it's just been I've known of Kobe Bryant, and I was shook yesterday, man. Like,
yeah, I was devastated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's weird, and I don't. What is that? Like, is it that we're getting older and death is more like?
No, I mean, he died horrendously in a helicopter crash with his child.
Right.
If you don't have feelings about that, you're not you. I mean, but
Right.
like it's like you should definitely, and you should explore those and have those feelings. I think totally.
No,
of course.
I absolutely agree. It just I was a little bit surprised the depth with which it hit me. Like, even before they knew his daughter was on board, even like right away as the news was coming out. Like, of course that makes it exponentially worse when these children die. Of course. But even before I knew that, I was like shook up, like fucking crying, and like it's like. I wouldn't have expected that reaction to Kobe Bryant's death. I'm not a monster. I would have been sad and not happy that it happened, and but like I was kind of taken off guard by how much it sort of impacted me.
You get older, you get more in touch with your emotions. I think you're a lot easier to like being like, no, you now have a longer depth of all the people that are going to be affected by this. You now understand everybody else's feel. Like when you're a kid and these people who are online, you don't have enough life experience a lot of times to realize the swooping effect of who the people like the children growing up without a mother. You've seen all this in real life. You see how this plays out. You now understand it. It's very sad. Yeah,
I think you're right, and it's also like I think it brings up like death in general now. As we age, it brings up shit of like, oh, like my parents are gonna die. I have friends that have died. Like it's over. You die, it's over. Like you're gone, and it's just I don't think you appreciate that as
but that's
much
okay.
when you're younger.
You're gone, but the only people who are affected are the people you love. Tita said, I tweeted this, but it was the most amazing thing. Tita, I go, damn, Kobe Bryant died. And she went, sadness of someone passing is the consequence of being loved. And you went, fuck.
Yeah.
If no one loved him, no one would be sad.
Right.
So it's like, it's good that everyone's sad because it shows that he was loved.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Anthony? You're probably the biggest basketball guy here
In the world, maybe.
In the world, maybe.
One of the biggest.
Would have been
Big
in
heart.
the NBA if it weren't for about 3 feet. But
Well, I would say it's more the drive. He didn't have the drive.
No, I don't know that I've ever really embraced Mamba mentality. I think I'm the polar opposite of that.
Yeah.
No, it was very.
That's not true.
What?
Before we get into this, you have one of the biggest drives. You have psycho drive.
Yes, I do. I can.
You got Mamba mentality.
I can tap into Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Stand-up
In a
wise,
scary
you're
way.
the Mamba of stand-up. You ever
don't
see
think
that
that's
guy after
true.
a set that you thought was good,
Yeah.
and he comes off and he didn't like? If that's not the Mamba, I don't know what is.
Hell yeah, that's hairy Mamba.
Yeah,
Hairy ass. We call him the hairy ass Mamba.
you got the black Mamba and you got the hairy Mamba.
It's totally true.
I didn't know snakes were that furry.
Yeah.
One of them dropped 81 points. One of them had a set he didn't like at the Borgata and smashed his head against a wall.
Tell us, Mamba. Tell us.
Mamba mentality.
Tell us of your feelings, Mamba.
Oh man, yeah, complicated. I say, man, I thought I hated Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life watching basketball. I didn't like him as a basketball player. He never passed.
Yeah.
He exactly what you were saying. He just seemed like he reeked of there was like an arrogance and there was like a dickheadedness.
Yeah.
Dickheadedness to him. And I love those Kings teams.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they had like brutal battles, like
Yeah.
Weber and Vlade Divac and Peja Stojakovic, and like they never could get past.
Was
the
Jason
Lakers.
Williams on those Kings teams at that time, or
don't-
no? That was after him.
No, it was mainly Bibby, and
Yeah.
it was like Bobby Jackson.
Yeah.
So I he was an obstacle in the way of that, you know, and I just thought those teams were so fun. So I really, and then like the sexual assault allegations, I was like, man, you know, fuck this guy, and then
Yeah.
he died, and it's the saddest I think I ever was in my life.
Yeah,
and then
it's
it turns
wild.
out, man, I loved this guy
Oh.
the whole time.
I know what we need to do here.
Yeah.
We need to get our emotion. Hang on a second. You guys talk.
Well, there's also something interesting.
I was
like,
devastated.
Jesus, Greg.
Oh my God.
Just give me less space. This new, have a new setup in the studio that's been designed to give everyone more space, except Brendan, who's just pushed into it. Greg just stood up and literally pushed me 6 inches further into the corner.
It's literally so great for everybody else but Brendan.
I actually kind of like it. I have to be honest. I like it. But, you know, I mean, I think to be like, and LeBron doesn't quite have this. He has it on the court, sort of. But, like, to be just a great like that, not all the time, but sometimes there is a level of this insane ego. Like, I mean, have you ever seen Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame acceptance speech?
It's not a Hall of
It's
Fame.
the
It's not an
craziest
acceptance
speech you've ever seen. Greg, have you ever seen Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame acceptance speech?
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame acceptance speech?
Yeah.
No.
You got to watch it. It's the craziest speech you've ever seen. It's just him. Literally, they're honoring him as the greatest basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
And it's just him going through a list of people that have wronged him.
I have
It's
seen that.
just-
That was amazing.
It's literally him shitting on everyone and being like, I did everything by myself.
Yeah.
So, and like, I do think those guys that are like truly the best. Like, I mean, to drop 81 points in a game in the NBA, like, you have to be insanely talented. And I think to get to that level, oftentimes there is this weird level of ego. Like Maradona. Maradona was insane. He was insane. Like, but he could also dribble through entire teams and score goals.
Totally.
And then you get to the flip side of that, where like Lionel Messi is like a pretty nice guy. It seems like.
Yeah.
And so it's not always. And LeBron
He's more
is
of a LeBron guy.
Yeah, he's
Messi
more of a-
and LeBron they're super high IQ. Like they understand. Messi understands soccer.
Yeah.
The same way LeBron understands basketball.
Right.
Can we get back to something I understand, like emotions? Can't talk about Messi. I don't care about Messi's.
There, man. You can, man, just say your emotions. You can just say your emotions during it. What's the problem?
Just kidding. I do. I'll say in about 6 minutes, I have a thing that we can do to help us process our emotions.
Okay, good.
Beautiful.
In about, I like that you've nailed it down to 6 minutes.
Yeah, I'll let you guys wrap up here with whatever you're talking about. I haven't been listening because I don't understand numbers or sports.
Yeah, you do.
Can you shut that door?
Yeah.
Thanks, Harumi.
I can't wait. I'm also very excited for next week's episode when we talk about whatever Super Bowl party you guys go to this year and don't invite me to.
What are you talking? You're
You're invited
to Andy's.
You are invited.
Dan is invited to Andy's. You're invited to Andy's.
Who invited
I won't
me?
Be there.
Who invited me?
You're not going to be there?
What? I don't know. Maybe.
Why wouldn't you be there?
No, of course I'm going to be there. I'm very excited about it.
Who invited me?
You maybe
Who
not.
invited me?
Anthony, just
Me.
now.
I just invited you.
Is Andy okay with that?
Obviously, man. Andy knows you. He loves you. You're
I
the top
I know,
album
but there's
this year.
only
There is limited space.
there's limited space. That's the thing.
But Harumi won't
Dan
eat
is very
anything, so
skinny.
Who's Andy?
Fury.
Okay.
Rumi's invited, and I'm not even
just
I
invited.
invited
just invited the both of you.
You don't have invite privileges.
Oh, well, yes, I do. I've been there for years.
That doesn't give you invite
I
privileges.
believe. Yes, Greg, back me up on this.
He's got 'em. He's got those
after
privileges.
You attend a party for a couple years.
You are
then
the invite,
have
yep.
you then have invite
Because I bring
privileges.
good stuff.
What are you going to bring?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring because I figure the mains will be covered. I figure pizza,
mains?
wings, that kind of stuff will be covered.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring every kind of chip they got. I'm gonna go into the store. That's the move. That's my move. I get every chip there is: Doritos, Lay's, dips, whatever dips you got. I'm gonna get some of the queso dip. I'm gonna get salsa. I'm gonna get Pringles. I'm gonna get fucking
Pringles are the
Pringles.
best.
Yeah.
Do you know what Chaplin does, which is a huge move? Every time he goes to a party, he rolls in with a case of water, and it's always like,
yeah.
yes, because no one. That's not a fun one, so no one wants to get it.
Right.
But you need it.
Yeah.
And he comes in with a case of
So
water,
smart.
and he's a hero.
I bring a bag of ecstasy.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say.
brings Molly.
I was gonna say this water is helpful at these Molly parties you guys are attending.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're gonna come as my guest this year, both of you guys. But you gotta understand, Andy does
Well,
it.
Dan will come as my +1.
Okay.
You only get one plus
But
one.
you guys are expected to perform. You gotta understand, Andy's Super Bowl parties, they're like a dinner for schmucks kind of thing. so you're my schmuck this year.
We do. We humiliate each other. We invite people and then humiliate them. We trapped a lady in Andy's room last week and threw wet bologna at her face. Hilarious.
Look at how poor she is.
And now she's my wife.
That was
Yeah,
like
things work out
that
sometimes.
was like when we locked old Fisk Bigger in the baseball team locker room, and then everyone
come on,
forgot
man.
about it.
Fisk bigger?
Fist bigger.
And the
Can't be,
and the fucking janitor found him at 10:30 at night. It was rough. But by
10:30. I mean, you could go to jail for that. I think.
not kids. They can't throw kids.
They're not
in jail.
throwing kids in jail. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not after
Not
the
Cleveland in the '80s.
Yeah, 1986 Cleveland. There was a big with a kids jail. You don't remember this?
I was
Kids
remember
jail
it. I
was
started it.
Overthrown, and many adults lost their lives
Yeah.
to the children's battalion.
Yes,
but then
I-
they had to scoop them all up with nets and put them on the island.
I was a sergeant in the children's battalion, and I luckily escaped.
Did you
the
get older?
island. What? No, I never have gotten older. I'm still a boy. Before we get into this 6-minute emotional
Boy with the sex drive
thing,
of a lion.
yeah, I do have to shout out one thing. This was cool, man. I love this. This happens on our podcast, and it was nice because it was a day I was really sad.
yeah.
What, yesterday? About
Yeah.
Kobe?
Hand me that red thing,
Yeah.
Anthony.
This
I was reeling, man.
an Australian listener named Jody.
Oh,
Jody
Jody.
Chatfield.
Yeah, she messaged me,
Oh.
and she is randomly friends in Australia with
Ben
a
Wyatt?
really good high school friend of mine named Schmitty, who listens to the
course,
podcast.
Schmitty.
And I had no
He grew up
idea
on a
he
fucking
listened.
boat.
He's the greatest guy, and I had no idea he listens to the podcast. So that was so cool. It was like
That's awesome.
he's an awesome guy, and I'm glad he listens, and I hope he's doing well in Australia. And I haven't seen him in years, but he's the coolest guy.
I bet,
So.
man. You're not named Schmitty, and you're not a cool dude.
But isn't
You know?
that a weird thing of this global podcast we've created, that there's these connections where some
Worldwide,
lady
baby.
in Australia is just like, hey, I know your friend from high school. Like, there's buzzing just happened.
Sorry, Dan's mic's always so hot.
Yeah, well, we got a shout out at the Grammys last night.
Who? What?
Alicia Keys mentioned us.
Oh, that's right.
She
That's
said,
right.
I want to give a shout out to my favorite most hilarious podcast.
Really?
The Rad Dudecast.
I knew I should have watched.
Jen, I think you got to pick
That was
that
a good
up,
time
man.
for no one to pay attention.
Yeah, that's better.
So my Alicia Keys impression just bombed horribly.
Well, I got something.
Unbelievable, you
Sorry.
guys. No support. I
Well,
feel
Greg
like
said
Kobe when he played with Nick Young and those goddamn young kids where he got no support.
Well, I will say this.
Can
Greg,
we talk more about my favorite basketball player of all time now?
who's that?
Kobe.
Who? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ah!
Jesus, Greg.
Christmas, man.
Greg is in the process of setting up 14 different tripods for God knows
Meanwhile,
what.
I'm trying to remember my dead friend.
Who? Which dead friend?
Kobe Bryant.
Man.
Oh, I think it's
In basketball, from one basketball player to another, we're all friends. You know what
And
I mean?
it's also like this weird thing.
Yeah, like a comedian's brotherhood.
yeah, exactly.
It's
It's a guard brotherhood.
It's also this weird thing within you go on Twitter.
God, man.
You go on Twitter and there's like a certain subset of comedians that
Yeah,
are like
I know.
in a race to be like, who can be the first guy to
gross.
be jaded enough to make the joke about it? And it's
Yeah.
like none of these jokes are good. Like,
No.
why? What?
Yeah.
Who is this for? Like,
Guy
what?
and his daughter just died.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
guy who had just such an impact on
Yeah.
the world that
Eh.
we're not gonna fully reconcile with for years to come.
And I have no problem with making jokes about the dead. We do it all the time in this
Sure.
podcast, but it's like, yeah, you don't got to race to it. Like,
Yeah.
like give people time to grieve. Like,
Yeah.
like there's no have some class.
yes.
I've also said in order to handle that type of material, you gotta sneak the chisel into the cake. Okay? And you gotta have a lot of cake. That means it's gotta be so funny.
Right.
And it's never funny enough.
It's never
Really-
funny
That's
enough.
why Anthony Jeselnik's the only one, because he's the only one really making him funny enough.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been a little
Chisel.
distracted today. Sorry.
Chisel in the cake.
Chisel, yeah, that's how you sneak it in. You gotta sneak in the message and or the offensive comment.
Right.
That was how those wily Beagle boys would always sneak out of prison on DuckTales. Ma Beagle, give me another hot dog, and she'd sneak a chisel into the cake, and they that somehow a chisel was all you needed to get out of prison in those days.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't.
Easier times.
Andy did it with a rock hammer in
Time and
Shawshank. Shawshank. In what?
Time and pressure. That's all Andy Dufresne said.
Yeah, yep.
Time
Time
and pressure.
Man, I've never seen that. I gotta see that.
What do you mean you've never
I've
seen
never seen that. I've
Shawshank
mentioned that
Redemption?
many
So
times on the
crazy you've never
podcast
seen
how I've
Shawshank
never
Redemption.
seen
One
it.
of the
And now it
greatest
feels like a
movies.
political stand. That
It
I'm
is a
taking.
political stand against your the prison system and kids jail.
Man, that
You know,
battalion
I've
was
always
rough.
been against kids jail.
What?
I've said that from the beginning. I've always been against kids jail. I'll go on record happily about it.
How do you, yeah.
Do you know?
I'm really having a hard time today syncing up. I've just really fumbling through this. And 1,000 apologies. I think
No,
it's how
it's
Kobe
okay.
affected me.
There's
yeah,
n-
that's fair.
there's no apologies necessary because you were
sincere.
getting something set. So there you and me and
Yeah.
Anthony held it up while you
But I've also-
got something set.
Yeah,
and
but I've
that's
got more to say about Kobe.
Yeah,
Do
go
you?
ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the lead basketball person on this podcast.
You are,
I
hands
feel
down.
a
Maybe
responsibility.
Harumi though.
Not hands down. I mean, he is the lead, but not hands down. I like basketball. Harumi likes basketball. Like Anthony's the lead guy. He played basketball, but actually,
People are looking
I mean,
at
did
me
you
for
play
an
high
answer.
school?
They are.
What's up?
Did you play high school?
Yeah, freshman and JV.
Okay, see,
but then I
so
gave
you
it up.
surpassed me. I played middle school because I've been this height since 6th grade. So I was like in 7th grade, they were like, "This guy's tall,"
Yeah.
you know. And then I was like, "I'm probably gonna end up at 6'4", 6'5", and it was like, "Nope,
Because you know my family.
You're just a well, my brother's tall, and my mom's
Oh,
side of the
that's true.
family's tall.
Your
My
brother's
brother's
tall.
6'1", and so I thought being 5'9" in like 6th or 7th grade, I thought I was going to be big,
Yeah.
and I thought I was going to have a humongous dick, but
Mm.
it was just like, nope, everything is fully in place. You're done.
Yeah.
Like you've stopped. All that's happening now is increased hairiness.
It's called the middle school medium.
Yeah.
When you get to middle school, you find out you have a medium dick.
We should ask Haroom because Haroom is from California and Kobe meant so much to Los Angeles.
And both Asian.
And both Asian, also true. Yes.
Kobe beef.
Yes, you're 100%.
I'm pretty sure it's Asian.
100% right.
Raised, and Kobe was, if not, I'm not mistaken, was raised in
Philippines.
Japan. Was it
No,
Japan?
Japan and
Philippines.
Italy.
Italy, right?
The
I was thinking that
Philippines.
is the coolest thing of all time is a black guy who speaks Italian.
That is cool.
It's hard to
What's
beat
cooler
that.
than that?
Yeah.
Come on.
True,
It's
man.
hard to
He
beat.
could have stopped right there and not played in the NBA. He would have been the coolest guy of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
He would've-
Five
the world would've
championships
mourned
on
him
top
the
of
same.
that.
Harumi, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Don't be funnier than us.
What?
Sorry.
He's coming in with these.
I was sitting on that for a while.
That
I
was
mean,
a
come
very
on.
funny thing to say.
Harumi's hilarious.
Yeah,
We're
too
20
funny.
minutes in.
Too funny, Anthony.
And
we're,
why?
We're the
No.
stars.
Why is he so funny? Because he's got a belly full of flapjacks.
No, that
right,
was-
Dan? You see how well you participate after you get some flapjacks in you?
Thank you, Tita.
I should mention this, and
Yeah,
I meant that jokingly, Harumi. No one laughed, but I meant that jokingly.
What?
Be as funny as you want. I should mention this.
Mamba mentality, dog.
Hey, preparation meets preparedness, whatever it is, you know.
No, those are the same thing.
Now,
Preparation
Meets
is
opportunity.
Yes,
something.
that's more what you meant.
Yeah.
yes, and they both father excellence.
Yes,
Yes. Snake.
Who's married to love, who gives birth to empathy, who then goes on to marry anger, and their child is then
Sure, they had a love affair,
Yeah.
but prejudice got involved.
yeah.
But Haroon, yeah, say your what you'd want to say about him.
Oh, the Italian thing. That was all I had. I mean, come on. 5 rings,
yeah, it's a lot of.
all-star, gold medals.
Yeah, he really lived his life like an Italian guy. A lot of jewelry.
I like that he got gold medals. You know, gold medals is fun.
Yeah.
You know, you get a medal. No one gets medals anymore. No one seems that crazy. You get a
No.
gold medal like you're a king.
yeah.
Medals are crazy.
Because it's a wearable trophy.
Yeah.
Most of them, you're just like, I won this, and then it goes in the house or it goes to City Hall, wherever. It
Give him
goes.
a watch.
Right.
Yeah.
But this thing, it means, it really is, there's
Yeah.
something to it. I agree with you.
A
man.
medal is like I got this medal. It's like a
Yeah.
medal, and it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It seems very. I don't know.
My favorite story is that Muhammad Ali threw his Olympic gold medal into the Missouri River as a protest against the government, and then his family was always like, "No, he didn't. I've seen it. I've seen his medal.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't do that.
Yeah, that's
That
great.
thing is dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Never hit water.
Yeah.
Why? Wait, can I say more things?
Of course.
Okay. I think you were touching on something earlier, though, that's very true.
What?
In terms of...
Oh, sorry.
Why are you trying? It seemed combative.
No, I meant like.
Oh, you're
go
in,
on.
like you're in. Okay.
Yeah. What? Go on. Can't wait.
Obviously,
I'm excited.
Continue.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna go on.
Yeah. No.
You think I was ending there?
I'm pushing your foot on the gas. I'm excited to get there.
What you were saying about like we did grow up with the guy.
Yeah.
So it's like yes, you know from high school to you watched him go from a kid to a father to all these things. So to have that, it means a lot more because he's been in our lives for this long.
Yeah, I think I also, and this is I've kind of come to realize this with any death. Like recently, I had a friend who just passed. I had my college roommate passed earlier this year, and like
Kevin was like a year ago.
Yeah, Kevin was a year ago, and just with any death, like somehow like my failed suicide attempt has like really heightened my reaction to death because I think I'm so grateful and like so just feel so lucky that didn't work that I'm like, oh my god, life is like such a like great thing,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's all you have, it's all you're given, and so like, and that heightened that of being like, oh, I tried to take that away from myself,
Yeah.
and like,
Right.
thank goodness it didn't work. Like I just happened to get lucky and did a bad job of it, but like that has like heightened my awareness of death and being like, oh fuck, like you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the way mailmen feel about mailboxes. because like we don't care about mailboxes because we don't deal with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me whatever. I don't care.
Right.
But a mailman every day goes, oh no, this one is large. You can put a lot in there.
Yeah.
This one is small. Like they know it because they face it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And dogs.
Yeah.
And heavy packages. Stamps. I'm not getting into any of that. What else?
Rain.
Rain. Well, I see rain. I see a lot of
Baseball
rain.
bats.
Baseball bats?
Yeah,
Are you swinging wild at your mailman?
That's a federal offense.
No, but you never see like movies like bored kids. They drive around town
Oh,
and they swing
yeah.
a baseball bat.
Yeah. The worst enemy to the mailbox is the baseball bat.
Yeah, but a baseball similar to this baseball bat. They're adversaries with the mailbox. But once the mailbox goes away, they go, man. I mean, I loved the mailbox.
I love the mailbox.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I loved the fight that we had.
Yeah.
Because there is a finality in death.
Yes.
And now the baseball bat sorely misses the mailbox.
The mailman himself has been, since because of Amazon Prime and digital media and the email, the mailman is every day faces what could be the end of the mailbox. But he holds on, like Brendan.
Thank you.
Very similar.
But one thing I miss out a little bit on New York because you're in these apartment buildings. You don't quite see your guy every day. In Cleveland, my mom is like friends with Dave.
Clarence was mine.
Dave's our guy. Dave's cool. My mom gives him cookies. She tips him on Christmas. Like, he's cool. He's fucking cool-ass dude. He knows all the dogs in the neighborhood. Keeps dog treats with him in case there's a problem. Smart.
That's a savvy mailman.
Yeah. Some of these mailmen are carrying mace. Not Dave. Dave's taking a treat because he knows you win him over with kindness. Befriend him. And then they're on your side. Another dog attacks you. Guess what? 14 dogs line up behind you.
Goddamn
Don't
right.
fuck with Dave,
That's
motherfucker.
King Dog.
That's
That's King Dog.
You know what you do?
What?
You keep a tiny cat in your pocket. And then the dog goes after you. You throw the cat out.
Oh,
and then the
yeah.
dog will start chasing the cat. Natural enemies.
I would
Blood
argue
runs deeper with them than it does with us.
I would argue there's many reasons to keep a tiny cat in your pocket.
I'd love to hear them all.
You're going through an exact change place, the toll. Throw a cat in there. He'll go in there, grab the change, bring you some, then you throw it in there. You don't got to pay. Cats are like
great idea.
Yeah, bring a cat. Bring a cat on a plane. Throw him around. Cats love planes.
They don't make therapy cats, huh?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they have nice couches. You go in and you say, I got to be honest, Mr. Bojangles. I don't think my mom loves me. And he'll go, I don't love you. It's got a lot of problems. Cats are good with handling problems. And they can sniff out cancer. And some dogs.
That is
I thought
true.
that was
They could
dogs.
Keep one around.
Any animal can sniff out cancer.
And the
They're
ones
sniffing all the time.
Yeah, the
so
ones that
high
are-
percentage will hit.
and you gotta watch the ones that don't tell you about it. Because
Yeah.
you're right. Any animal
Few-
can do it, but you never get a squirrel who warns you. They just go, nice.
Let me tell you this. You come home from the doctor, and then the doctor was like, you have cancer, and your dog didn't say some shit to you,
Yeah.
throw that dog away. That dog knew, and he's trying to get your wife. That dog's trying to fuck your wife. He's trying to check the will, see if it's got paw prints on there. 'Cause
Yeah.
He probably wrote some shit in.
Yeah, well,
Tough for dogs too, because if you catch a dog fucking your wife, dogs they can't use themselves as an excuse.
What do you mean?
They can't be like the dog ate my homework. They got to be like I'm fucking your wife. That's right.
Now, one thing I do, can I be silver lining Silvio for a second?
yeah, sure.
Please.
There's a tiny silver lining. I'm not even trying to be funny, but this was a real thing that popped in my head.
Okay.
Whenever people die, especially famous people, I always go like, oh shit, like he died of cancer. It's like, man, I got to make sure I'm getting checked for cancer.
Right.
Asthma. Oh my God, I got asthma. But it was like with this one, I was like, oh, like I don't got to worry about helicopters.
That's
you
right.
know.
That's how you and I live a different life. Y'all got to worry about me.
But I was like, this is really sad only for him, but
Right.
not scary for me because I ain't fucking with helicopters.
True.
So nice. That's not a thing I gotta like. I don't gotta look into the MTA, not the MTA, the Helicopter Association.
Yeah, the MTA.
HTA.
They jurisdiction.
Yeah, you don't like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to sound. Y'all just leaving me out here.
I'm listening.
Y'all,
I get it. Like,
y'all leaving me out here. Who am I gonna talk to?
no, it's not a fear that we have to deal with yet.
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
to be a big time helicopter guy one day.
One
Now
day.
Kobe was known for traveling by helicopter
Yeah.
very regularly. I mean, that was his helicopter. He would go just because of the traffic in L.A. and because of how rich he was. He would go. I mean, he would go to games in a helicopter.
Yeah.
He would go everywhere.
He found
in a
it
helicopter.
to be better on his legs.
Yeah. And,
Why would it be better on his legs?
Less stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You got a lot of leg room up there.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, come on, helicopters. That's too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I never really. I'm out of the helicopter world, so I don't know the dangers of a helicopter. I would imagine it's dangerous, but then I'd also imagine that like it's being improved upon every day. So by now, helicopters are pretty safe.
Yeah.
But obviously not.
Well, I and not to get like too newsy, but
Sure.
It was foggy enough. Conditions were bad enough. The LA Police Department grounded all of their helicopters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Kobe's helicopter had special permission to be going, but at one point the pilot asked air traffic control for constant monitoring, which means he was probably like fucked visibility wise. He wanted them tracking his position at all times.
Right.
And they told him, "You're too low for that. We can't.
You should went higher.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not going to tell a guy how to fly a helicopter.
Right, we're not helicopter pilots.
I'm not helicopter anything.
It was obvious. Jesus Christ,
I'm not even
man.
helicopter
This
dad.
fucking table is this new setup benefits everyone, but old Brendan, who just gets rammed by a table every 17 seconds.
Sorry, I'll figure something out. I might cut the edges off this old saw.
Yeah.
I got a saw downstairs. I've been getting crazy to use.
You know what's
What? No, what? I'm ready. Now that you're next to me, I got to like... make sure I aim
so
at you.
Intense, man.
Sorry.
It's all
I had a
right.
big coffee today too.
That's all right.
Woke up at 9.
I thought it was crazy too because it's like the generation of basketball players like now, Kobe was their guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was that decade, right?
Right.
So it's like it's similar to like if Jordan died or LeBron died. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just such a monumental person in the eyes of the people that are playing the game now to be lost.
He literally died he probably would have lived to 80. At least. You know what
I mean,
it's half of his life away.
Yeah. So like that's why like I've never seen just the outpouring of men crying visibly on television like I did yesterday.
Well, because it's also this thing where like we as
celebrities,
fans, yes, as minor
But both,
celebrities and fans, can appreciate him as like this amazing player,
Right.
But for people who actually understand the game at that high of a
Right.
level, they know how good he was.
Right.
To be able to score 81 points in this day and age
As a guard
in the NBA is insane.
Yeah.
Like he was insanely talented, and like they understand that like deeper than anyone. Like this was a hero,
Well, yeah.
a monster of our game.
You don't lose someone who like performs at the level he performs at in his field this often. You
Right.
know, like he's not like, oh, he was very good. He's one of easily the top 10 of all time to ever do this thing that's very revered in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe top 5.
Yeah.
So to lose someone of that stature this young and also this not far removed from playing, he only retired a couple years
Right.
ago, is I don't know. I've never seen anything like it.
No, I mean you could compare it. I think the two comparisons that jump to mind, and they're not the same, are you have Michael Jackson,
Sure.
right? And that is
But that's
different. because
muddy, you know?
that's exactly. That's different because he's tainted by these allegations.
And also
Yeah.
a lot of stuff was going on. Like
Right.
he was someone when he died where I went, that makes sense in
right.
a weird way.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
No, he was
The clock was
unhealthy.
ticking.
The clock
Yeah,
was ticking,
yes.
and for him too, it's like whatever he was going through was so visible. You know what I
Right.
mean? People go through stuff and you never know. Whatever it was with him was so much that it poured out on the outside of him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever he was struggling with, maybe there was some relief in
Right.
death for him.
And then
So I didn't feel as bad in a way.
well, I didn't really. Yeah, I mean, the guy was a pedophile. Or accused. I mean,
Sure.
I believe he is.
Sure.
Older too.
Yeah.
Older,
50.
50.
He was 50. He seemed way older.
Yeah.
But I mean, then we have to remember, well, the guy was famous since he was 4, you know.
Yeah.
So, but then
But when you were seeing him too, it wasn't like you just saw Kobe on like courtside with his daughter.
Right.
So you saw
Right.
him as like, this is this great father.
right.
You
well,
know?
and literally his last tweet was this fucking just class act, like literally praising LeBron for beating his scoring record, like literally giving him props.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I think could be reasonably similar would be Robin Williams, but again, we saw him with his struggles, and he was older. So, I mean, that was kind of a similar shock, but he was older, and we did see more of his outward struggles. It wasn't as big of a surprise,
totally.
you know, like. But
it was very odd, man. Not realizing how much this guy meant to me until yesterday. You know?
Yeah, it's a very strange feeling. Like I was just shook up all yesterday, and I was like, I would not have expected this. Now, Greg has something cooking that I'd love to get into.
No,
because
somebody's hand is messing me up with that microphone sound. I just don't know who it is. I don't think it's you. Really?
You gotta give me a mic stand over here.
Oh, here.
Harumi gets one joke on. Now he's very demanding.
Get that back. The noise is driving me crazy.
That particular mic is bad with the noise.
I gotta I think it's the
cord.
not the cord. It's the not the intake, whatever it's called. The
connection.
No, there's like a thing I could turn down, but I'd have to do that pre-podcast.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feeling? I feel like I'm just trying to make sure you guys are feeling okay. Are you getting all your emotions out?
Yeah, I'm trying to get everything out. Because I know you want to go into something.
This is
very fun.
No, this has been cathartic. I think for have you guys listen.
Well, because I feel like you two guys are, to me, in my opinion, you're hold back. You hold back on your emotions a lot of times. Anthony, you're ice cold, and Brendan, God knows the bottles you have in your belly, and I don't want that to build.
Rap, Harumi.
What?
I get a bad rap, Dan, as this ice cold guy.
Don't ask Dan. That guy won't even tell me when he wants flapjacks. I got to force him down his throat.
Okay,
this is what I was saying.
What?
Not all people. You got to let the flower open rather than just yank at the petals to try to get that thing going.
Both get open, in my opinion. So anyway,
I'll tell you this got Mamba mentality when it comes to friendship. That ain't always a bad thing, but he's got
Greg has serious Mamba mentality, and I've seen it. I mean, he would kill someone for you easily.
Yeah.
No questions asked. I have to interrupt for 2 seconds. I know you haven't spoken a lot on this podcast, and I hate to do this to you.
I actually don't want to speak.
Anthony, let me get your opinion on this. Greg has repeatedly
subtly snuck that in.
Since I
never wanted to speak. I hate talking.
Since I came here, he has repeatedly referred to pancakes as flapjacks. Now you've known the man for his whole life.
Yeah.
Is this new?
Yeah.
Or
he calls them pancakes all the time. Flapjacks. This is day one with him and flapjacks. I'll tell you what's going on.
I'm trying it.
This guy is very excited.
I had a coffee today.
He had a coffee. Person of legendary status died yesterday, so Greg is feeling the after effects of death.
Yeah.
When I first walked in,
this is when I come into.
Yep, Greg gave me a very large hug.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen you in a while.
Not me, I guess.
Well, Greg also said, he hadn't seen me in a while. It's been a week, but Greg worries about me. So he gave me a very large hug, and then.
Did you like it?
What was I starting this sentence for?
The flapjacks.
Ah, yes. He's very excited. He just wants everyone to be in such a great mood, so he started calling pancakes flapjacks.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Flapjacks.
Yeah.
Hey, flapjack. It sounds like it's like a fun thing to say.
It does
Get
sound
out of here,
like
flapjack.
It does sound like a 70s black guy term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sit down, flapjack.
2 old flapjacks over there.
So my problem here, what I'm worried about, is that my two friends who have a hard time expressing their emotions don't deny it. You know it's true. I brought a friend.
You talk right into camera.
Yeah, because I'm talking to the people at home too. I like to talk like Steyer
It's
talks.
so insane.
You guys see how Steyer talks?
I don't even know Steyer.
But it's so crazy in the room.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking in Brendan's eyes, and then you address the camera as if it's
if you want to look at my
breaking
eyes,
news
look
on
at the
CBS.
monitor. You know Steyer?
I don't know Steyer.
Steyer is the guy who's running for president. He'll do a thing.
Tom Steyer?
Tom Steyer will do a thing where he's like, they'll ask him a question like, "What are you going to do about reform?" He's like, "What am I going to do about reform?" I'm going to tackle it head on. Dude, it's creepy. And I was stoned watching it, and I was like, why is my man talking to me? Why is he talking to me? Don't talk to me. I turned it off, and she was like, why are you turning it off? So I need you guys to get through your emotions.
I appreciate this.
So, and I know that you're not, because you're so fucking violent towards me when I try to get close. You take out your claws and you swipe. So I'm going to take my step out of this. You don't have to talk to me about my emotions, okay? All right? I want you to talk to my friend Gary.
For those of you,
Gary, the emotional friend.
For those of you, for those of you not watching the video,
why doesn't Gary look at me to say hi? I've already got problems with the guy. Hi, Gary.
I don't have the.
For those of you not watching the video, Greg has produced out of nowhere a high-end puppet. I would call it really a quality puppet. I won't even call it a puppet. A guy named Gary. He's got a lightning bolt on his shirt. He's got yarn hair. He's literally a professional level puppet, I would call him. He's got even one of those things to control his arms.
I'm not a puppet. I'm Gary, and I'm here for your emotional support. Who needs to cry?
Gary, I'm having some trouble processing this. Do you have any activities you would recommend to a man who's having trouble processing grief?
Yeah, well, you got see. I've been a little bit about myself. I'm a emotional puppet since 1983. I've been in the mix. I helped the gays get through the AIDS epidemic. I helped. Well, that's really about all I did, and then I went into retirement. So I got a lot of AIDS-related help. So
what do you suggest for Brendan for his grief?
Oh, very easy. Well, the first thing I want you to do is stop sharing needles. That's really going to be a problem.
Gary, I do appreciate you, and my emotions, as Greg said, he's not wrong. I have tied up emotions, but I don't have a lot of AIDS problems. Is there anything you can kind of use that knowledge garnered in your helping the gay men through the AIDS crisis in 80s New York and somehow transfer that to me dealing with Kobe Bryant's death?
Yeah, everyone seems to say the same thing. AIDS ain't my problem till it is. So... yeah, you might sit here thinking you don't have AIDS, but that's what everyone who didn't have AIDS said, and then what? Now they got AIDS. But, well, we've come along with technology, and you could kind of, you could live a long time now with it. So, not so bad is what I would say. Not so bad. Not as bad as it was. What was the question?
I'll let Anthony go ahead and process it, because now I'm just sad and worried I have AIDS.
Are you sharing needles?
No.
Good. That's the main... People just... As a puppet, one of my main children's things to talk about is sharing. You gotta share. Share your toys. Share your emotions. Share everything. Don't share needles. It's just a problem, Get your own needle. That $2. Free sometimes.
Good advice, Gary.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have trouble. When I have trouble, I often try to go to like a mnemonic device. Like how people, if I ever sprain my ankle, rice, rest, ice, compression, elevation. And I feel like if I had a mnemonic device with my emotions, then I'd be, I don't know if there was anything that you offer along those lines.
Sure, yeah, of course. Now, this is big. You want a G-A-Y, gay. Get a man, yo. That's what we kind of tell each other is be with your friends, be with your lovers. Get a man, yo. But M is silent because gamey, like the meat. That's what I say. Gamey, get game.
Wait, hang on, Gary. I'm sorry, but it seemed like you had this, but then all of a sudden it changed. Are you making this up as you go along?
No, look. I retired in 1987 after Bush put the kibosh on all AIDS treatments. That was a big problem. Big problem for us.
What are my? Because
game.
Okay.
Get a man, yo.
I got it.
Get a man. Somebody you can hang out with. Someone who enjoys similar things. Doesn't have to be sexual.
What are my? Because I don't know where to go from here. I feel like I want to talk about it, but I don't have the words. Right now, they're just emotions. So, what are my next steps? What should I be
all
doing?
right. Now, how free are you to get up and go over and talk to Brendan?
Very free.
Free.
Yeah, very available.
I don't have sight in my eyes. I had a stroke which left the right side of my hand motionless and my eyes never to blink. I had many problems in the 90s, which caused my retirement.
As a therapist, though. It's very intense.
What? Yeah, you just look eye to eye. I'll never take my eyes off you. That's what I say. But what they don't realize is that I haven't seen anything since 1987. My eyes are as creamy as a very light coffee because of the cataracts, or what is it called? Claustrophobia.
Yeah, cataracts.
I think it's
Glaucoma.
Glaucoma.
I got
That's what you're
glaucoma.
looking
I got a stroke. I kind of wish I had gotten AIDS. It would have been a much easier situation than the one I got right now. What was the question?
Don't worry about it, Gare.
All right.
You were going to say, am I free to go over and talk to
Yes,
Brendan?
go over and put your hand on Brendan.
Okay.
I don't like to be touched.
He doesn't, but he needs it now. We got to follow the 3 GAYM.
Okay.
Grab a man, yo. Now, are you grabbing?
It really
Yeah, I'm
changes.
grabbing.
That's
Brendan.
The gay acronym. It's nice because it means a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Grabbing, man.
Yeah, so now, sit back down. I don't think you're doing it right. Sit back down.
Okay, well, it's my first time.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I got to be honest. I'm a little rusty on helping, and I don't really deal with celebrity deaths a lot. I really did a lot of preparation for Magic Johnson, but then he never died, and I threw out all my notes.
Well, I do have a question then, because man, for those of you not watching the video, when Gary stares into your eyes, it's fucking creepy. Gary,
Yeah.
This puppet, he's dressed like a little boy. He's got a real Chucky thing going on. Where, now, Gary, you seem to be spasming. He's spasming.
I was connecting with the people at home
Okay.
who might have AIDS. They didn't check.
All right.
Get checked. Get checked.
Gary, I have an admission.
Yep.
And I don't want to incur your wrath, but I do feel there is something maybe you could help me with.
Mm-hmm.
I lied before.
Oh boy.
I have been.
Oh boy. I don't like a lie.
I have been regularly sharing needles. Not for heroin. I've been getting vitamin C injections with just a bunch of guys on my block. We hang out down at the corner and juice up on vitamin C. Same needle every time. Gary is not handling this well. He's got his mouth open. He's biting his own arm. He's shaking. He's jiggling. This is really one you're going to want to watch the YouTube video for. But Gary, how do I break this habit? What do I do?
Of what? Sharing needles?
Yeah.
Very easy. Follow my nanogram.
Yes, go ahead. Give us
DSN.
Yes.
Don't share needles. Remember the letter. When someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey, I got a needle, and I want to save money. It's better for the environment." Say, "DSN, motherfucker.
Well,
Don't share needles."
Well, that's where they've been getting me, Gary. Is I've been trying to bring my own needles, and they have been saying, "What are you? A polluting Pete?"
Oh, Buddha Pete's my friend. I went to high school with him. He teaches. He's changed his life around. He teaches now.
Uh-oh.
He teaches now.
Greg's mic's
He
clipping.
teaches now about the harms of polluting. My arm is getting tired.
Gary, now, there have been cases of, like Charlie Sheen recently found out that he had AIDS.
Really?
Yeah. That was a
No.
couple years ago. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Gary, did you help him?
Gary is having microphone
Take your
problems.
time.
Gary's microphone came unplugged.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties with my throat. What'd you say?
Did you help Charlie? Like, have you ever handled cases notoriety.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, I helped Magic Johnson.
Oh, right.
Handle it, and then I prepped for his death, and he didn't die, and that was probably for the best. But I had a great speech lined up. Charlie Sheen was a hard one because that guy,
Is it weird that you?
he doesn't. Yeah.
Well, you can go ahead.
He holds he doesn't like puppets, and so we had a hard time. I'd come to his house and he'd be like, "Get away from me, felt fuck." He's called me the felt fuck because I'm made of felt, and that was a problem. But so I tried to get through that, because a lot of puppets. Now, see, there's like you want to deal with a Muppet. Muppets they're good puppets, but some of these guys, they'll just try to molest you. It's not great, and I think that's what happened with Charlie. I think he was molested by one of them church Muppets. The real. Anyway, so yeah, now me and Charlie had a weird relationship.
Okay.
Anything I could get out of here, or what's going on? I'm about
I had
done.
another question, but then I kind of forgot it.
All right. Well, anyway, what else you guys plan on doing? You can just keep going with your podcast or whatever, and I'll just sit here.
I did have a question for Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Are you open to constructive criticism?
Yeah, I'm pretty open.
Okay.
Yep.
If you're gonna continue this line of work as a emotion, connecting with men's emotions and helping us deal with emotions, I think you have to move past this whole sharing needles obsession, because you really have only taught me and Anthony how to not share needles. Is there any kind of school you could go to or anything like that where they teach puppets to more move on to a new career path?
Oh, I was trying to get back into school to learn a new trade, because the needles thing, it's there's no money in it anymore. What kind of thing can I do though? I was thinking about getting on disability because like one of my arms doesn't work and my legs are all flappy. Look at this.
Yep, Gary's legs are flapping around.
Not going to be a track star anytime soon.
Well, you've told us you were here for emotional support. What about, suggestions about, you did have the good suggestion of get a man, yo.
Yeah, get a man, yo.
Get a man, yo.
Get a man.
I think that's pretty good.
Hug a man.
So maybe more along those lines. Yes, hugs. What about getting in touch with our primal feelings?
Yes.
Right.
This is all good stuff.
Yes.
So let's do a group therapy thing that I used to do a long time ago.
Great idea.
All right, so now you guys everyone's upset about Kobe, right?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you're not. I don't see any hands, so I'm gonna go ahead and say everyone's upset about Kobe. Great. Now, use Kobe as say a thing. Anthony, I'm gonna go with you first.
Okay.
Say something nice about Kobe using his name, like kind, obsessed in a good way, brave, entertainment.
I see. Another mnemonic
device with Kobe's name.
Okay. Dedicated.
Not his name. What are you doing?
His
What?
name's Kobe.
He said to say words like...
no, Kobe.
K-O-B-E. Kobe.
Oh, I see what he did.
Yeah,
okay.
man.
Oh, okay. K, killer.
Killer.
O, offense. B...
Take your time.
benevolent. And then E, effort.
Great.
That's great.
Great. Brendan, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel good. It made me feel like my friend Anthony is processing some things, and I like that. I did like that. Should I do one, Gary?
Yeah, but you got to do it with Bryant.
I want...
Because you had too much time to think.
I know.
That's cheating.
Okay, fine.
Gary runs his therapy sessions like a test.
I would say...
Pencils down, guys.
I would say...
Wheels down, everybody.
I would say B, ball hog.
Ball hog.
But for the good of the team, he knew it was better with the ball in his hands. Yes,
True.
He could pass, but he didn't often. But that was because he knew he was the scorer. So a good ball hog. R, really
rebounds.
Really a good.
Rebounds.
Really,
Look, I love rebounds.
really a good dad. Really a good.
Really
dad.
a good dad too, but also rebounds.
That's
the
not-
guy
I
loved
mean-
rebounds.
Wow, it's not
Who doesn't
statistically
love it?
He
accurate,
wasn't really.
man.
Yeah,
You don't
it
think
wasn't-
so?
He wasn't a big rebound.
I mean,
He didn't like
he
rebounds?
loved rebounds in the idea of them.
Yeah,
Everyone
but-
loves a rebound.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought
That's not what you would associate with him.
Also, Gary, what the fuck, man?
What?
This was my processing my grief,
man.
and you're just telling me rebounds when I was saying really good dad.
Yeah, but also I'm helping.
Is this how the AIDS patients were treated?
I don't know. They all died.
Okay.
That's the thing. If suicide gets you, AIDS doesn't, and that was kind of my philosophy. I'll get you to throw yourself from a building before your white cells go down.
Oh, now it
Jesus,
comes
man.
out,
No
Gary.
Is this
wonder
sad?
you haven't worked
Now
in
it
years.
comes out,
Yeah.
Gary.
What?
You were working for the AIDS crisis, not against it.
Those checks came, and those checks went. You find one, you won't.
Let me ask you this, and I want an honest
You still
answer.
got more letters.
Yeah,
well,
you got
I
a lot of
do,
letters.
But I want an honest answer, Gary.
Uh-huh.
Were those checks coming from the CIA?
They were coming from the CIADS. Corporate AIDS.
I should have known Big AIDS was behind Gary.
No, you got Y, man. No,
oh,
no.
yeah, why?
Yeah, you're a Y.
Y tu Mama Tambien. That movie brings it out of me every time, and
right.
I feel similarly about Kobe. A.
Wait, before you get to A, I want to stop on that. This is just an own personal question I have. That's a masturbating movie, right?
I mean,
To you, they
Could
all
be.
are. You
Yeah.
because you like a real story that you can really go down. Now,
Movie
I'm
was
talking
filthy.
to Greg more, not Gary. Gary, your friend Greg.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Your friend Greg loves to jack off to a movie that's a full movie, but also has sex in it. Which
Yeah,
is,
it makes a lot of sense.
Which is why you should get into Spartacus, because that is a sex fest.
Really?
Oh yeah, Spartacus on Netflix. There will be gladiators fighting in the arena, and there's just women in the stands with no shirts on, and it's like
Wow.
Romans had shirts. Like you've gone. I know it was a liberal society,
Yeah.
but
we've been,
this is ridiculous.
I think it's an interesting conspiracy theory that we might have been sold a lie the whole time, where Hollywood was like, they don't know.
Yeah.
Make them all know wear shirts. It was a great excuse for us to have boobs.
They just have parties in this show, and then part of the party is just the slaves fucking in the middle of the party.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Now
you're
we're
like,
I think
talking.
they've thrown this into
did
history.
this really happen? But my A would be African American role model.
Wow, good. That's good for everyone.
My N would be not afraid to take the game-winning shot.
True.
And
He wasn't.
my T would be too soon.
Wow.
Too
Now, how did that make you feel, Anthony, hearing your friend
Good.
share his emotions like
Very
that?
good, Gary.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
I learned
good.
a lot about Brendan during that exchange.
That's great to hear. Now I'll do mine, I guess.
Yeah, what? Do Mamba, because that was his nickname.
Oh, sure. I'm going to go with more Anthony, maybe banana, and I got to start over.
Take your time, Gary.
Medicine and...
Start over again.
Start
Yeah,
over.
okay, all right. I got to take my time, you know. All right. Mexico and America blame Argentina for all these immigrants that I'm okay with. I'm okay with them. I'm okay. I say everyone should live anywhere. But Mexico and America seem to have a problem. I don't have a problem. I love everybody, right? Except my dad died in the child war, so I don't like children. That's why I had to get into the AIDS thing, because I had real problems with children. I'll take a swing at a fucking kid. Oh, yeah. If I go, say the numbers, 1, 2, 7, bah! Pop him right in his fucking face. I hate kids. I hate.
I got a
Yeah.
two-part question for you, Gary.
Sure.
In your and I'm not saying that you didn't receive a proper education, but is it your understanding that the numbers precede 1, 2, 7?
Oh, no, mispronunciation there. If a kid says 1, 2, 7, if a kid, I have no patience for ignorance.
Oh, okay.
Somehow I followed.
I
that
see.
from the
So
joke.
Yeah.
they didn't know 3, 4, 5, 6, and
Yeah.
they got a slap down.
That's the thing that happens. See, a lot of people will ask a very obvious question: is how did I lose half of my action in my body was that I was fighting a child, and then the child's dad hit me with a glass bottle on the back of the head. I had a stroke. I was in the ER, which led to a hospital stay and some infections that were a major problem. And now I have just one hand.
Now, my second part of that question was
This one.
I was a little confused by your mnemonic device because
Sure.
Anthony and I, as part of the exercise, were asked to do a mnemonic device that somehow related. For those of you not watching the video, Gary is just rubbing his dick while I talk. Gary, you don't do that when a guy's talking to you. Gary, you don't masturbate while a guy's talking. Gary, that is highly. You're jacking off while I'm talking to you.
He's doing a Michael Jackson impression.
Michael Jackson was my hero. He did what children deserved.
Okay, Gary.
What?
Gary. Oh, you gotta go, man.
Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about this later on my new podcast, Gary Kate's Kids. Michael Jackson was right.
Gary, you worked for AIDS.
Michael was right.
You.
So this was our
defended
memorial
Michael Jackson.
episode for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got to see you Tuesday when I come back.
You'll never be back, Gary.
I might come back in a new shirt.
I would suggest you run hard and fast.
Now, with
It's a
these
long-
wobbly legs. Please look at them.
I suggest, Gary, if I could, I suggest you find the nearest cannon to be shot out of so you can get as far away as possible.
Michael was right.
I gotta say this.
Sorry.
I really have to say this.
All right, I got it.
This is an aside, but for those of you that are not watching the Rad Dudecast on YouTube, this is a must-watch episode because
I
Gary
would
is
say so.
Gary is nuts.
Like
and you will stare
Download.
into his creepy little fucking AIDS Michael Jackson eyes, and you will be shocked forever. Harumi, where can they find this? YouTube.com/ is it Rad Dudecast? The Rad Dudecast, yeah. So this is a watcher, I would say, because Gary.
We'll tell him that at the end of the episode. That's great.
What?
Should have told him in the beginning.
Well, they can go
You
back.
didn't know I was here.
Fuck you, Gary. Fuck you. You know what, Gary? You're not even a part of the podcast. You're not even part of
I'm
the
not?
podcast.
No?
No.
Jeffrey Dahmer had the right idea. He had the right idea. No evidence.
No evidence. He kept brains in his fridge.
Yeah, for later snacking.
Yeah, but that's about as much evidence as you can get when you just have a fridge full of identifiable body parts.
Not me. I'll eat them shits one sitting, buffet style, like John Panette. You be here 4 hours, eating children for 4 hours. Go now. John Panette at a cannibal house.
Gary,
All right.
man,
What?
you came in as a grief counselor and you're leaving as a villain.
Villain for what?
For what? For defending, not only defending Michael Jackson, admitting that he was a pedophile and saying he was right.
Stop trying to censor me.
And then
Free speech.
And then you,
Free speech.
you have admitted you were working for AIDS in the 80s.
Yes. Yes. Power to the AIDS.
Oh, God. Stop, Gary. More Gary's camera. No. All right.
Hey guys, I had to go, but I'm back.
Harumi, where can they find you?
Instagram, Dan Harumi.
Is that the end of the episode?
Yeah, we're about
What?
done. You got anything to plug?
Yeah, I'll be at Curly's Comedy
I got a lot
in New Hampshire. I think it's in Rochester, New Hampshire. This weekend, January 31st and February 1st, and then next week I'll be at Laughing Gas again in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Come out to that. That is the 6th, 7th, and 8th of February. Oh, and then this is important. Me and my lady are trying to have a threesome. It's hard to find a threesome person. It turns out it's hard to get a threesome person.
No, there's an app. There's apps.
No, I'm on we're on the apps, and these people, they're flakes. They all want so we're trying to have a threesome. So if you want to have a threesome with me and my lady, she's very hot.
It's crazy. This is during your plugs.
Yeah, if you want to have a threesome with me and my lady, hit me up on Instagram at AirBud. You can talk to her. This is not. I'm not doing this illegally. She's on board. So hit me up at AirBud. We're trying to get a threesome going. We'd love to have you involved.
Great. Do we do applause for plugs? We should start doing applause after each plug.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice. We'll just go right down the line, clockwise. I'll be at Laugh It Up Poughkeepsie. If you're in Poughkeepsie, New York, I'll be at Laugh It Up Poughkeepsie. It's at what's it called, Anthony? What's the name of that place?
Mahoney's?
Mahoney's in Poughkeepsie, New York on February 8th. Also, February 3rd through the 7th, I'll be doing a week at the Creek. I'll be doing an hour of stories. Maybe Gary will be there. I don't know. Maybe I do a puppet show now. I don't know. Maybe.
Let me interrupt.
3 to the 7th.
Let me interrupt right there.
What?
If and this is serious, Donkey. If none of you guys have seen Greg tell a story, I mean, when he does stand up, he's telling stories. But if none of you have really seen him get into his full stories, he's literally the best I've ever seen at it. So if you're
praise.
around New York, go
Hot
to that.
praise.
Because the guy, they make me laugh harder than anything has ever made me laugh. So
highest praise, Brendan.
So if you're around the New York area, if you want to, if you're thinking of visiting to New York, I would go to that. That's what are the dates on that again?
3 to 7 of Feb.
Creek in the Cave.
Yeah, I have more, Anthony. I see you're locked and loaded there.
Yeah,
but
I
got
just
some
locked
more.
and loaded. I'm not rushing you.
Finally, I have some dates, so y'all need to listen to them. I never have dates.
You
no
do.
One
You
no.
always have dates.
Do I?
Yeah, man.
All right. The 12th, featuring for Chad Daniels. I don't know where. Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville. And then also I think I'm featuring for Jared Freed too. I just hooked myself up with a full feature weekend.
That's great.
So come to that Zany's in that's the 12th through the 16th. And then also I'll be opening for Michelle Wolf on the 18th through the 22nd. Where, Anthony?
We're gonna be at the Comedy Works in downtown Denver.
That'd be fun.
We might be there for more dates too.
Really?
But for now, the 18th through the 22nd of February, Greg and I will be at the Denver Comedy Works with Michelle.
Nice.
And then
you go now.
Thanks, man. For me, I'll be in Boston on February 7th and 8th. I think one place is called Zone 3, and I think the other place is called Democracy. I said it on I don't really know, though. You got to really dig in to find out. February 15th, I will be at Cherry Tree running My Dad Is and Danny DeVito at 9:30 in Brooklyn. And
let me say this. If you've never seen Anthony tell stories, this guy is the second best I've ever seen in my life. If I'm watching him in a mirror, he's the second for the best. So Cherry Tree?
Yeah, and I'll be there on February 29th as well at 9:30.
Nice.
Telling that story. And actually, that's it for now, guys.
Nice.
So, yeah, go. And last time it got cut off, I wanted to give a shout-out to Jeremy Picard. This guy's been texting me for years, and he finally got to see me live in person, but then afterwards didn't say hi. So
so we say hi.
So what's up, man?
And how about Brendan? Huh? That guy's one of the funniest guys too. Go see him. One of the best I've ever seen.
We could have just ended it.
No, but Dan Rumi's dates.
Oh, yeah, Dan went first. But if Dan's got dates, absolutely.
You went first?
Yeah.
How'd you think of the flapjacks?
Obviously,
Thank you, Tita.